Crafty Friends, Nana K here, and with the Nana K Designs and the Altered Book Nook, we're going to continue to work on our altered book. On the last training video, we went through and showed you what we had already done, and then we also added an extra pocket in somewhere. Where did we add that on? I'm not sure if that's right. No, this is what we're getting ready to do. Anyway, somewhere in here we added a pocket with herrings on it. Man, I don't know why I can't find it today, but I know it's in here. I know we did it. There it is. This is what we did on the last video. One of the things. We added a few pages back in here, but right here was the main one we did. I've actually gone in now and pre-prepped, so you didn't have to watch me. Don't have to watch me do all that cutting and that sewing like we did on the last one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on the back side of the one we did the small pocket on. There's a pocket. This is going to be simple because it's just a matter of, I'm not doing anything special to this page at this time. Now later on we're going to come back in and add flips and other things to it. At this time we are really just what I call, besides pre-prepping, we're just doing the next phase of prep work to get the journal ready to do all the fun stuff. And that is the process. You can't always jump right into the fun stuff. So right now we're just putting the pages together that we're going to use in our journal. And we're making sure our stitches are stitched down good to the page so they don't come out and ravel. I still haven't printed my corner tabs yet, but we will get to that. I appreciate all you guys who are returning to watch me, and welcoming anybody that is new. I hope you'll subscribe and stay with us and help us take this journey, because this is only one of several books that we've got planned using this beautiful blue Tranquility kit that I have here. Now, I got a little bit of white showing up there, but I am not going to worry about that little dab of white. Matter of fact, this is my remedy for the little dabs of white right here. It's just to pop a little bit of ink on my edges. Okay. So that page went down quickly. We again are using the Salty Blue Stress Oxide as our trim, and we have a really pretty Country Blues thread that is we use for our stitching. And as you see, I have already stitched these two. But every once in a while, I just come in and repress. I think that one, other than this one, I think that made it where we're now caught up with every page from that point on. So I'm going to try to do the rest of these videos where I'm actually going to page by page. All right, here, I've got two plans here. One was to actually just put, I came in and I glued two sheets together here. Two sheets were just loose, and I've glued them together to make a large pocket here. And I'm going to put this piece of paper on this one, which I've already prepped and already cut out my thumb notches. I've already stitched this one, as you can see. The stitching's already done. And as I tell you, this Berry Art glue does not give me much time to move, so I have to really kind of make sure I am already in place when I press down on this, because it really will not move once you press on it. Okay? I am not getting a good even page here. And that's funny, because I thought I had measured everything, but that's okay. No, it's not. That is just too crooked looking for me. go. And I'm actually probably going to have to put some more glue down because it glued quick. And then it dried and now it's not sticking, so try that again. That looks a little better. It's still really crooked right there, so I'm thinking my edge of my paper up here, up on this side, is a little crooked. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to come from this bottom side here and just make sure it's right here. And then we'll trim off if this is not correct. And that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to trim off just a tiny bit right there because I was not getting a good straight cut. But that's easily done. And then we'll just come in with our scissors and cut off that excess. And that takes care of that problem. I was fighting with that page too long. So that got that one done. Take my smoothing tool and actually rub it really good. A little bit of ink in here. Okay, so there's your pocket right there. There. Now, I hope I haven't lost my stuff because that should have stayed paper clipped to that back side. So give me a second here. Let me throw that paper clip back on. Now, what I had planned on this side over here is I am going to put a belly band. And the belly band is printed on the 28-pound brochure paper. So it is really too lightweight just to slide things behind. So what I'm going to do now is just a real simple trick here. And you'll find yourself doing this a lot with your ephemera and different things that you use. I'm not making this any kind of special fancy tag or anything. We're just going to make a regular old everyday belly band in the middle of that page. But to give it some firmness and to give it some future wear and tear capabilities so that as you're sliding stuff in and out, you're not going to tear the paper itself. I actually glued mine onto a piece of 110 pounds cardstock. 65 pound would probably work fine if you're going by U.S. pound weights, and I do not have any idea what those weights are in Europe, so I apologize. I'm not familiar with the weights and the poundages in Europe, so, but this is, I know they call it GSM or something like that, but this is 110 pound cardstock, U.S. cardstock poundage. And so, as you see, that made it a whole lot thicker. It doesn't have to have anything done on this back side because you're not going to be able to get to it once it's glued down. And this is a real simple final touch here. Now, what I will do when we come in and start really decorating these pages and popping in pockets and flip outs and folds and trying to fancy it up a little, what we will do probably most logically with this one is where that butterfly is, I will probably print the page again. I'm going to cut some of this off, so that's why I'm gluing down lower, because it's not touching on this page, and we're going to glue, we just have to cut some of that off. And then that's another easy, just an easy fix right there. Let's pull this aside a second. And just take your scissors, cut along the top of the page. There you go, easy fix. Okay, so but what we will do probably to decorate this up some is come back with, I may do like a triple or double layer butterfly to make them stand out. And I may do, which, yeah, I really may do the whole thing here. Oh, yep. My plan here, that just came in my brain, is I will actually cut out this whole thing right here, and I'll make gosh, I can't even think what they're called, tuck spot. I'll make a belly band with a top tuck spot, most likely. All right, so, but we've got the basic prep done. It's ready to go. Now, if you want, you can ink. Now, on this particular journal, if you've been following me at all, you know I don't like white showing. But there's an exception to every rule. This particular journal has a lot of white in it. So, in this one, the white edges do not bother me because they actually, a lot of my graphics in here have white. So, the white edges are not bothering me in this particular incident. All right, on this next page, we're going to go with a very plain coffee stain paper. I've already stitched it and it's ready to go. Again, I really put a lot of heavy glue right there on my stitching so that when it's glued down, we don't have to ever worry about those stitches raveling in our pages. No matter how much we handle it, if we glue that down with this Berry Art glue, we're not going to have to worry about it. And I know I'm off screen a little bit, but you guys know how to glue. You don't have to see me glue every inch of this stuff. And I'm really trying to make a short video because it's 6:26 and I haven't even gone to work yet today. I have to go to work in a little while. So I'm trying to kind of make this quickly while my husband's doing his little bit of rest, and he's been doing construction work all day. So he's trying to take a little break before we have to go to the motel and work. But it's Friday, and that's a place that demands my attention on Fridays. I am not liking this here either. It's not cut out like I like it. So I am actually going, if I can find my round punch, I'm actually going to, I think, repunch this. I hope I'm not messing up because it's in the threads, but I think I'm going to repunch it just a little bit. I'm not sure that's a smart thing to do. I don't think so. I think we're just going to hope that when we glue it up, yep, that's good enough. There we go. That's good enough. We just put the glue on it, and that didn't make it look so in your face. So there that goes. So that's the thumb notch for this middle pocket. On this middle pocket, I really am going to probably want to put a little something inside. And I'm not going to want to use plain white. But I may take a strip like this and put it in there just a little bit so that it's not showing up right. Let's just trim this a little. I guess what I'm just trying to say is it's not that it's got any specific use, it's just aesthetics that I am trying to do here. And sometimes that's the worst pain, just that making things aesthetically correct is the worst pain sometimes in any part of the journaling. I have to move this up a little because I can't see it really well. Okay, I want to cut it right about, no, I don't want to cut it that far down. I want to cut it, I want to trim about that much there off that, if it will trim. My blade's getting a little dull and I've got time for me to snap it, but I believe I got it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is start to tear it in half, but it's not going to even work at half, so I'll have to still find another piece for the other side, which is not a good idea, but I'm just going to tear it because it doesn't have to be pretty on the inside either. But I'm going to put that in so you don't see, so when you open your pocket, you're not just seeing all that writing. But that's the only reason I'm gluing this in. And it is hot in my shop this afternoon. I didn't cut the air on, so I'm sitting here sweating pretty bad. And as you guys know, I have asthma, so I may have to pop this video off and go get cooled off a few minutes because it is hot in here. And I know better than not cut my air on, even though it was cool when we were over here this morning working. It gets hot in the afternoon, and I know it, and I did not cut my air on, so it's my fault. I will take all the blame. But there we go. See, I put a little bit of that in there. I'll come back with my hole punch again and try to do it exactly in the same spot. There we go. And, I'm going to glue it up a little bit again. So that gives me a little bit of lining in my pocket on that side. And I'm going to have to do it on this side too. So it'll be a matter of finding another piece of this if I can find it. And I know I printed 2 sheets, so I should have another piece. But I think what we'll do with it is, there it is. I do have it right there. Nope, that's not the same one. It's not light enough. But you know what? It might still work. It's still blue. And because it's not showing all that much, I don't think we really need to worry about it too much. But guess what? There's another piece. I got lucky. That's why it's nice to have a trash stash. Okay, so let's cut us another piece right here. And trim it off. I'm not liking myself right here, losing everything. See, this is what I don't like. It's my desk to get like this when I'm videoing, because then I hide stuff. And see, I just went out again, but that's okay. We'll cut it off there. And I'm going to measure it again. We only needed about right there. Cut this piece off right here. Like I say, it's going on the inside, so I'm just going to tear it. Nobody's going to see the edge but me. Me and you guys. And once we've got it in, nobody's going to see it. It'll just wheel right into the page. So all I'm doing here, like I say, is just sturdying up the inside edge of the pocket, plus hiding some of the wording, so that that's not the first thing you see when you open your pocket. And for me, it's just an aesthetic thing. Again, doesn't have to be that way if you don't want it that way. This is strictly something that's a matter of preference. Okay, so I've got that one glued in now. Okay, this is a great big, now you've got a great big pocket right in the middle of your book. And you can get a lot of ephemera and stuff stuffed down in there, but what we're going to probably put in there, I'll just tell you probably, because I changed my mind 100 times before I finish these books. I will see something and think, I want to do it that way, and then I'll be working on it and got a whole new idea the next time. So, yeah, with this one, we're just going to have it. There we go. All right, so that's done. We got it. We got a nice, strong pocket edge now. It won't tear and rip. We've got a pretty blue trim back in there. And what we're probably going to do with this large pocket is make a large journal card that will have a tab sticking out. And that tab, we will most likely put what we call a dingle dangle, which is really just a pretty beaded little thing that we hang off of it, and it'll just hang off the side of the book. When you close the book, it'll hang off the side. It's done real pretty. I had another journal that I'm done, but I don't have it right back here, but I might show you. I got the idea from somebody else, and I wanted to give them credit for it, and I cannot find who mailed me that journal. It was what we call a journal swap. I was in one of those journal swap clubs, and now, for the love of me, I cannot remember who the young lady was that gave it to me. Now, a lot of people don't have to do this, but me, I really rely on my my board to do my I'm working on pocket, and I'm getting ready to do the edges now, the fold out, the part that's going to fold back. And I have to have my scoreboard. I can't do it just on my mat here. It just doesn't seem to do as well with me, so I'm doing it with the scoreboard. And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing it right now on this pocket. It's going to go on this page. I need to cut out another piece on this, but I don't want to glue the whole thing. I just want it right there. So I'm going to cut this piece out right here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to, again, sturdy up the pocket a little bit. So see, we're going to make sure that it'll fold over it. And we need to trim just a tiny bit more off this edge here. Make sure it's still going to wrap. What this does, again, is this gives me a little bit more sturdiness to the pocket because the paper's thin, again. You really could have printed this off on the 110, or I could have, I could have printed this on 110 pound cardstock, but I used my brochure paper because this is photo quality and I get better color. So I would prefer to just print on my beautiful brochure papers and get all this really vivid color, and then I can always just glue the white cardstock on. It's a little extra step, but I'm crafting anyway, so it's really not a trouble to me to do it that way. And then all I'm going to do now is come in and cut the top part out. And once again, once I trim it with the blue, I've got this beautiful pocket that can go in the center somewhere on this page. I really wanted to do another pocket on that page, but I wasn't able to quite figure out what I wanted. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do this one pocket, and I'm going to do a really tall, let's get this in a little more. I'm going to do a really tall tag there. But here's the pocket, and then what you do is you're just going to glue these little flaps to the book. This gives me a little bit deeper pocket by having the flaps on it. And again, later on, when we come into this, we may want to decorate it a little more. But that's what we're going with there on that page. Press it down. Let that dry. So that pocket's done, so we've got another whole page front and back done, ready to do something else with later. Okay, this page was just a page that we glued two together. I already got that done. This is a pocket page we're going to work on next, similar to the one we'd already done one earlier. So the whole book has got these, so we'll be repeating ourselves over and over on doing these type of things. But the difference is you'll see different patterns and different graphics. And I'm out of frame again, but guys, again, I am just gluing, and I don't know that you really necessarily want to see me do all this gluing, but I guess it's better to see me doing something than not seeing anything going on in the video. I'm sorry. All right, so again, this has to fit down in the pocket, and we've got to work fast because this glue dries so rapidly. Kind of make sure we've got about the same amount, front, bottom, top, and around, and press down. So there's that done. And this is going to be the pocket, and we're not piecing this together like we did the other one. This whole piece is just going to lay on top of the pocket like that. So that's the difference. Before we put a piece of background paper, then we cut our graphics out and glued it on. This one I just found a pretty window that fit almost perfectly there. And what we will do again to give it some dimension, we will go in and probably print the page again and glue possibly the window first. Probably going to cut the window out again on additional paper or cardstock. I will probably print again on cardstock or just print it again on cardstock. Cut it out and lay a window on top to give it some dimension, and then we'll layer another 2 or 3 layers with the flowers over the top of that. And that just gives the pocket a little bit of dimensions. That would be my initial plan. And up here I will probably put some kind of a tag. Okay, this page went really rapidly, as you saw, and that does happen. You get in here, and it does start going rapidly at times, especially if it's a repeat of a technique you had already done on your page. But again, I want my edges done. And some people may not like this much inking. You don't have to do this much inking if you don't like. I like to ink around all my pages. Just like I like the stitching on all my pages. That's just a me thing. On my pocket here, I do want that inked too because we left some white space up there. Gives you a little separation. It's not a lot. I didn't do a lot of inking there, but there it is. Okay, so we got that one done. We'll come in again and do something pretty back there. But again, you got to remember, you're going to have our journaling cards here. So what's here is not as important as what you've got right here. Okay? The next one, it seems that I had something else. I didn't. The only thing I had left on this series here, we're going 25 minutes into this one, so it didn't take us long to do this. Okay, we're going to pull this one off, and this is just simply a glue-on. And again, we've got a pocket right here that I already pre-prepped. I need to come in and fold it backwards for just a minute, like this. Find my center mark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is my center mark right about, 1, 2, 3, right about here. I just made that little pencil mark. I'm going to come in and cut my thumb tab. All right. That got done. That's just an indicator that you've got a pocket there. That's usually what the thumb tab is in my work, is that there's a pocket there. This is a hidden pocket, so if you didn't want to put that there, but I really am, again, going to put a large tag in there with another jingle-jangle hanging off the edge. But you'll understand as we get into the book what I'm talking about. I'm using a lot of terms that you may not understand at this point, but as these videos progress, you'll start learning my own terminology. And that, again, that's my terminology. My little granddaughter made dingle-jangles. That's what she called them when she started making them, so I have just stuck with it. She used to make earrings, and her earrings were called dingle-jangles. She loved to make jewelry. And now she's 16 and got her driver's license and working 3 jobs at 16. God bless her. I don't know how she does it. But she chose to have a really large truck instead of a car. And she named it Doug. Her truck's name is Doug. And her dog is a gas hog. So bless her little heart, she's working all these jobs trying to keep Doug fed. He is just a little pig. And I think she told her grandpapa the other day that bad as she hated to do it, she was going to have to buy herself a car. I think Doug has really taught her a lesson in economy, because we tried to tell her when she was 13, she got Doug and started working on it. Her and her daddy, she's got all those fancy lights around the wheels and all that stuff. And we tried to tell her, Aubrey, he's going to be expensive to run, but she wanted what she wanted. And you know how that is when you want something. Sometimes common sense just won't let you listen, and that's what happened. I mean, she couldn't listen to common sense. Just the wall overpowered common sense is what I'm trying to say. And so now she is stuck with Doug, and it is causing her to have, I mean, her whole summer's been work, bless her heart. But hey, I'm proud of her. She's took the responsibility of not expecting her mom and dad to pay for her gas. So, all right, so that was our little session. It was really quick. So we're just going to go on with that and look at it and let you see what we did finish today. This page right here, of course, will have a decorative page. I'm going to go with this, probably this darker blue. Or maybe, let me see, do I have gingham check? I don't think I have the blue gingham yet. And I do like to flip through and do that. I like to try to use as much variety on my background sheets. So I'm checking to see if we have used the blue gingham. We have used blue gingham already. So I don't think I want to use it again. So let's see what else we got in blue. We should have a blue polka dot background that we could put over there. And let's see my blue polka dot. But we thought, there it is, right there. But that's what's going to go there. So we'll go ahead and cut it. My measurements haven't changed any since the last video. It's still 7 inches this way. And not quite 5, it's 4 3/4 the other way. And if I go ahead and cut it 4 3/4 the other way, then I don't have to do any trimming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my 7 mark right there. Make sure my paper's straight on that edge. And then I make sure my ruler is there and there straight on that. Okay, I'm getting too much junk on my desk. That and that. And I am going to put this knife going to get me again. I'm not careful. Okay. The left side, we'll definitely use it. Okay, that's the 7 mark. Now we got to get the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right there. Is right there. And because we always have to cut 1/4 inch off, it seems like, off every page, I'm going ahead and cut it at the 4 3/4. And hopefully I won't have to trim out. But every page can get different because if you're gluing these together, believe it or not, the size on the page changes. But look at that. I think we're going to do okay just gluing. I can't glue until I stitch, so you're going to bear with me and let me run stitch. Okay, that didn't take but a second or two, and I apologize, but I wasn't planning on doing this page, but it just might as well finish it. Alright, this one's going to glue down, and don't have any special aesthetics that goes here. There's no pocket there or anything. So what we'll do, when we get back and start really working in this book, decorating it, like I told you guys, you're in the second part of the prepping stage. The first prepping stage in an altered book is preparing the printed pages. Ripping out what you're not going to use, folding down and making what you're going to make into pockets, what you're going to make into hidden pockets, what you're going to make into like double pocket pages. We've already seen those. We've seen all those types already in this one journal. The double pocket on one page, the great big pocket like we showed where we just snipped out the thumb parts, and then the little small pockets, like, well, that was a double. Anyway, there are several things, but the prep work has 2 stages, and this is the second stage of prep work. I know it seems like, oh, y'all are decorating the book. Now, we're not really. We're just really doing some simple prepping in the second stage of prepping. We are going to add a lot of other stuff to this book because we still have a lot of space to fill out. You see how thin that is? You've got a lot of space here that you can do in this book. So that's done that one. We're going to do the edges here. Okay, so what you can do while you're waiting for me to get the last few pages prepped, and that's what we'll do in the next one. We will finalize the kit preparations, which is really what I should say the second step in preparing your kit preparations, getting your kit elements on. And there's not that many, so our next video will actually be us doing this. And you will get to see us actually work some of these flip designs on the next one. So the next video, we'll finish doing the kit prep part of this book. It's a lot of pages. It might take 2 more. I hope not, because this one took 34 minutes. I mean, really, if it wasn't so hot in here today, I really could go on 30 more minutes and probably get 2 or 3 more pages done. But anyway, we're going to do this on the next one, is finish the actual prepping of the journal itself, the journal kit. And then we're going to come into the fun stuff where we make the flip outs and the pockets and the envelopes and the journal cards. All the fun stuff is coming up. So bear with me, follow with me, and in just a little bit we'll have all the prepping done on our altered book, and we will then start on the really fun, crafty stuff in this book. This is Nana Kay signing off. Hope you have a beautiful Friday afternoon, a beautiful weekend. I will be making videos tomorrow, Saturday, and again on Sunday, because that is really my quietest time. So I will probably be knocking out a few of those and getting them up for you to watch. I may do another live, because my first live totally bombed out on me. But we may start doing some live so you guys can chat with me while we're on live. But anyway, it's Friday afternoon late, and I've got to go to work. So this is Nana Kay saying bye-bye. Have a great weekend.